EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Chargers. With that, let's get out to Southern California with the call from Los Angeles. Here are Brandon Goss and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. Under hazy, overcast LA skies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings it to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the booth with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
Think about what the great coaches in the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? In this case, these teams get out for the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The throw. Out of the comeback run. Complete. 12 yards that time in a Cincinnati first down.
This is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. It's tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Is blown up, losing yardage back at the 45. After that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Play fake as he set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time he fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Went with a nickel, throwing an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of the linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
On fourth down, out comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Has a 53-yard punt. They take over. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
What I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. Like the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man in the end line. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
For the 32 now. Here's first and 10. Being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards.
That's an excellent read right there. Cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big time completion.
How about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. They'll set up to throw. And no one fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And the big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Work again from the 38 on second and 10. Second and 10. He's going to be taken down. Midfield, just across midfield at the 49.
That's a big loss on the sack, does it?
Now they're looking at third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on third down. And this time to the 30 will be down at the 31-yard line. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they're still looking at fourth down now.
They had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right. To get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done for deep.
Nice little test for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball again.
Handoff here to his running back. And that time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. Step aside and come back to Carson after this. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. 10 now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go to the drawing board with that call.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Complete. Pass the 20. And all in for Cincinnati score. A big play there. 76 yards. Bengals have taken the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And this is and good to make it 7-3. They only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. We'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes Los Angeles. And last time able to get 3. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the draw.
Take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
91.
I get this time to the 10.
And when you see that happen, that's when you see guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you can make the jackpot there.
They try the right side here. They'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. A lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. Right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum. Get first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll give it here to his running back. After a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice run here early on. It didn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy this caliber runs up this early because they pivot as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2. What are your thoughts on this D-line?
Have a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And give this time to the tailman. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has a sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
They were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The first half completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play action, now throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
7 yards there.
Completion to the tight end. Look at the size of these players nowadays. 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly. For no gain, 2nd down.
This is a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
To throw.
This one's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. This ball just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is a modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash and calling it even 50 yards. And this one is right down the middle. 7 to 6. On that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. And don't break. Like that one, what is it?
Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. There's field at the 2. That's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. You have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This will be incomplete. There's
It's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. 18 yards on that one. The Bengals are moving. First down.
And another thing that makes it come back really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. And now out of the gun. Get 3 up to midfield.
Trying a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last one got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Midfield strike. They look to throw. Quickly here, that's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 40.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run it on the toss. Inside the 15-yard line. Hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Second and 8. You got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved. When you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try to get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage or even run after catch.
Here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly blocked down. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
It's definitely tough to get down. You just saw it right there. But how about what we did say? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
7th play of the drive upcoming here. 3rd and 6.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They got fortunate to get points on the board last time.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To the tight end.
Okay, they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets are open.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a handoff here to his 30-yard line. 10-yard pickup, and it's a good for a charge for 1st down.
Tremendous blocking interior of the offensive line. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. He comes back to the you better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to run.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Back and he's got it.
You see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical for the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And get this time to the table. He's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He went right to the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. It's on the other side of midfield at the 45. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. 1st down on that last catch as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
You know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot and get connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or that, the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Well, he challenged the play.
That means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and all of a sudden, boom, you lose the catch. There he goes. There. 45 yards. And on that long run, maybe the defense napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh! Off he goes.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And a long run there at the end to top it off. As the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And on a bad return here, he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Not much happened there first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly. Then it closed fast.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. Third down.
That would have been a great catch. It was really difficult to hold on to because it was contested all the way. It would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throw here. He's going to throw this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Wants to get his team back in the game. A 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
He's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
And especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's Kevin Huber now. As he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Field, here comes Los Angeles. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And flag. We got a jump here. 3 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. On it now, here we go. Across midfield inside the 45.
This is an example of breaking down these runs. He's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
First down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now give it here to his running back. He works it to the 30-yard line. First down pickup of 8.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? Over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Pressure coming out. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. I'm going to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to someone else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now to go. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards here on a Bengal first.
Use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And game working, they'll stick with it on first down. Pick up a game. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. That looked like some easy yardage there right up the gut.
He's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or feet or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2nd and 2.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go around.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. He takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It goes a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
On, set. 18, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3 and it's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. Business to take care of before we get there. The backfield, that's complete. This play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Really good defensive effort there. All pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They're running now. Here we go. He will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. And Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. It's a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Look at this. A flick to the kicker. He's going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on down. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. Comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Good. It's a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for second down.
Catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Gloves do have a little grip to them.
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
First carry for their fullback. Just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. It'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone, so they could use something here on third down. And again, this time to the tailback. And indeed, stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. As they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Ty Long now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes on.
Yeah, they've been good with their runs so far. On first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35. That's complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So they got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. The Charger drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something that feels somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go for verticals because Right now.
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football is in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. Gets it up to the 25-yard line. Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you're all looking for some separation in this ball game.
Adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt, show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Might have got a yard up to the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here on second down. He's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. It misses the target, incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive in the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way, creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
On is the punt team now as this one set away. Fielded just inside the 20. Give them 11 yards that time. Return. Bengals will take over here first and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script the start of half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That's complete. And he went nowhere. It's back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and that'll be second down.
Completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Running now out of the gun. After getting stepped on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
Makes a good run blitz. A good run blitz.
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here, that's complete. He will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. He'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 on first down. 2nd and 7.
So many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
His tight end out on the right side. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 44-yard line.
The advantages of zone defense, as I remember, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. On the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The throw over the middle, taken in. He's tackled a yard short of the mark. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He's going to let this go. Touchdown. His guys are in for 6. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And that one puts them on top. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. Look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him, maybe the guys up front, combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on. And now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, the game, you got to feel there's a sense of Now letting panic creep in and affect their play. For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. A lower center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On the jet sweep here. At the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Down. 18 Gator.
To throw here on second and 10. That's a screen pass. That's complete. And that'll set up the third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Last play on the completion got half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll run it now. Here we go. And down as he's inside the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Making it look easy out there. Another first down. Let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Team before they drop it. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I'm going to get much more balance than this. Big time run, big time pass.
1-2 combination. Pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. From the red zone now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. This drive has been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs. Hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last putting it in the red zone.
So when you think play action right here, because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. Surge forward for about 5 yards, down to the 10.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put it right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Ball would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And a 15-year trusty veteran. That the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. Field goal now with a ball game, and they needed his legs. Last one gives him.
It's been a back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, I need you to make this stand up. If you got the momentum in the right direction. But we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, the 24-yard line. And here come the Bengals. Redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now out of the gun. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Good tough running right up the middle. If the defense can't penetrate, it slows pace or change direction. That's often the end result.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. I give this time to the tailback. Take it down, but not before it gets into enemy territory. 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now. That's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays. Have them on the move on first down. Here on the jet sweep. About 2 yards shy of the marker. Yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play when they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, we're going to give it to you back. Let it pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
To the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Taken in by his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. 2nd down and inches. Here that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's your first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because it should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Play. Inside the 10 at the end. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
The question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They bring it down to sack at the 16-yard line.
That was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, even further. 2nd and long. And it's intercepted. Get the football.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, "Not on my watch." And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's a gain of 11 and a first down LA. This is where the fourth quarter, you got the lead, you get it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and then late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they step behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
This is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here? And what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The Chargers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Deep shot that's complete. Last play they got stopped at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
So just sit on it here. Had to throw the ball. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
Defensively. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7-7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes it 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach?
Look at this. They get the turnover they need. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. A critical error there and a game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A good pick there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Obviously, this is not been a banner game throwing the football. So they got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
An interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Being chased out left. He'll try and run it, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And down, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender. I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I got to give it to him on that.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots for quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections
throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go wrong.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. The intensity of the game in pregame.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
That's another nice shot there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. It's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 39. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. The tackler almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup. So here's 2nd and 4. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
To throw. Sideline is complete. The first down on a 16-yard pickup there. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. This will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. This Bengal TV. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They do take on the extra point as well. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Now Boyd will send this one away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Chargers now down on the scoreboard. Time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Go back to the air here after the INT in the last drive. Try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, you get about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Now desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with his style for speed.
He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He's taken down. Huge play at this point in the game. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all three timeouts defensively. And then they'll run it now out of the gun. Stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. It's first and goal and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they're getting with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And it's a chip shot here. Let's kick is good. High fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet. And being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Kick it away. This is taken at his 4. He gets it out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. To get something quick right and then maybe take that shot.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making it an easy throw. Nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
See if they can cover all their bases. That incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. A little too far, brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's going to let it fly. Incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over. Into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly. Even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Southern California, so long, everybody.